Hey everyone, my name is Thomas from Thomas Dealer Coaching. In this video, I want to talk about how to control your emotions. Now, probably many of us have had to slow down in the past year, right? The global pandemic has forced many of us to, rather than being focused on the outside and being focused on the external things like working, going out, dating, studying, and being amongst people and being very busy, many of us have slowed down. We might still be working, we might still be studying, but at least there's more time to sit and there's more time to think and there's more time to feel your emotions and to really be aware of, oh my God, I have a lot of thoughts in a day, right? And I wanted to create this video to share you some insights of things that have helped me to control my emotions, to control my thoughts, but even more than controlling, to allow them and to just simply let them be. Because if not, it might get really overwhelming. It might get really overwhelming realizing how many thoughts and emotions pass through us each moment. And so in this video, we'll dive deeper into 3 steps that might help you, as they have helped me, in becoming more aware of your thoughts and emotions and just kind of letting it flow a little bit more, right? Okay, so let's dive right in. All right, so first of all, before diving into the steps, let's just state something about the natural state of every single human being that you will ever know and that will ever exist. A lot of us have, well, no, all of us have a lot of thoughts. Depending on the research, people say that we have between 6,000 and 100,000 thoughts, which varies quite a lot, but no matter which number you end up picking, it's a lot of thoughts. It's a lot of thoughts that pass by our mind every single day. It's like a constant stream of thoughts and emotions and like senses and all of that is constantly going through us, right? Now, what do most humans end up doing? Most humans end up taking some of those thoughts and labeling them. They're going to say, that's a bad thought, that's a good thought. I don't really like that one, should keep away, that's a dangerous one. Ooh. And we're going to constantly judge those thoughts that we end up picking. Okay, we don't pick all of them, luckily, because there's too many, but we choose some that we will label as negative and resist those thoughts and fight against those thoughts. And then we will have others that where we're kind of like, okay, we really, really like this thought, so let's pursue this thought, let's desire this thought. And so that's what most human beings do all the time. So what is wrong with this labeling of thoughts and emotions? So what ends up happening very often is that we have a lot of thoughts, we label some as positive, we label some as negative, and we'll end up pursuing some and resisting others. And resistance and pursuit is always a state of unrest, right? It's not good enough right now. I'm only good enough if I have this thought, or I'm only good enough if I don't have any more of these thoughts. For example, if you think you need to be thinking happy thoughts all the time and you're fighting any negative thought and you're judging yourself of those negative thoughts, then that's very exhausting. But the other way around is very exhausting too. If you're constantly pursuing positive thoughts, or if you're constantly pursuing thoughts that reinforce I'm such a good person, that is exhausting too. Because a human being isn't really made of spending time in the past or in the future, and it's not made of constantly being in unrest and constantly trying to achieve something or keep something away. And so labeling thoughts is a dangerous game because it costs a lot of energy and it might make you go crazy. And the thing is, most of us do this without actually noticing, but once you start to notice, you're like, oh my God, I've been pursuing these thoughts or I've been resisting these thoughts, and I haven't actually given myself time to rest and slow down and see that they're just thoughts. They're not an identity, right? And that is what often happens. We often take certain thoughts and we're like, that's part of my identity. I'm a good worker, I'm a good mom, I'm a good boyfriend or girlfriend, I am a terrible cook, I'm a terrible entertainer, whatever it might be. we take a thought, we make it our own, we make it our identity, even though it's not necessarily our identity, and then we start feeding it. And so we start building up this whole life around an identity, and we start constantly being in thoughts, and we become them in a way, right? And so labeling of the thoughts is dangerous because of that, because we lose a lot of energy and we might even lose track of ourselves. And that is why in this video we'll dive deeper into how you can let go of trying to control them rather than actually controlling them. I think controlling your thoughts and emotions is part of the fight against them. You don't have to fight your thoughts and emotions, they just are, right? Both the positive and the negative ones. And so rather than controlling them, let's allow your thoughts and emotions. And let's have a look at how we can do that right now. Okay, so the first step of controlling your emotions and allowing your emotions is exactly that. The mind shift, like the shift of the mindset of rather than trying to control your emotions, we are trying to allow them, okay? That's what we're gonna do here. And the first step is to catch your thoughts. The first exercise I want you to think about is, what were some of the most common thoughts you thought about today? What did you think about today? Try to write it down if you can. If you're like, I have no idea what I thought about, then fine. Try to think now, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, what are you thinking about? Anything, okay? The idea is that you recognize what you're thinking about, and that you practice recognizing what you're thinking about. Every time a thought comes up, you catch yourself, you're like, I was thinking about food. I was thinking about my ex. I was thinking about my job. I was thinking about my parents. Whatever it is, just catch them. Just play around with it, okay? You'll notice that there's a few thoughts, like a handful of thoughts, that are repeated again and again and again and again and again during a day. And the power of catching your thoughts is that you're making it into a game. You are realizing like, yeah, I'm thinking this again. So funny. And one powerful way of making it even bigger is to add a gesture. So for example, if we add a gesture like tapping my head or smiling, tapping my fingers, tapping my shoulder, whatever it is, you can choose your gesture. But if you add a gesture onto catching your thoughts, it makes it even bigger, right? It makes it even more obvious that you're catching your thoughts, and it makes it even more obvious like, I'm thinking this again, and you're automatically, typically smiling about it. I used it to catch thoughts about when I was thinking about my ex. In my mind, I was thinking about my ex too often, and I was like, this is really costing me a lot of energy and a lot of thoughts that I could be using for other things. And so I tried to catch them, and I tried to catch them by every time I thought about them. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm thinking about it again. And I tapped my head like this. Immediately it made me laugh about it. And immediately I was like, yeah, here we have such a thought again. And so that makes it more like a game, right? It makes it less serious. And so that is the first step in allowing your thoughts and emotions, in controlling your thoughts and emotions. It's catching your thoughts and emotions. Realize that they're there, right? As a second step, we are going to accept them as they are. Accepting them as they are might seem very easy, right? But I think most of us, we're, like I said, labeling our emotions, we're judging them, we're thinking about them in certain ways, we fight them. And so the second step is a really important one. Just allow them to be. They already exist, why would we fight them? If you think about food, or if you think about your boyfriend or girlfriend, or if you think about money, you're already thinking it. So there's no way to fight it. It's like, I'm already thinking it. So you might as well just say, fine, come in. You're here now anyways, right? See them as, there is a really, really beautiful poem from Rumi about the guest house, it's called, about how thoughts and emotions are guests, right? They come to your house, and what would you do with guests? You would treat them well, even if they're negative emotions, even if they're very disruptive. If it's a guest, you're going to give them dinner, you're going to give them a drink, and that's the whole idea of it. Give your thoughts space to be, give them room to be. It's fine. It can be a negative thought, it can be a positive thought, because you know that you're more than the thoughts. You know that if you're judging yourself, for example, right? That doesn't mean that you're a judgy person. It just means that at that specific time there was a thought about judging yourself, or you're judging somebody else. It's fine, it's a moment. You're not defined by it, right? And I think that's a really important thing. If you fight against something, you're like, no, I can't be that person. If you pursue something, I'm like, I need to be that person. You can be the person that you want to be, and your thoughts don't necessarily tell you that much. They can teach you something, but they don't define you. And so accepting your thoughts is just kind of being like, okay, sure, you can be part of my day, right? Because they will have left even before you notice it. So the second step is about accepting your thoughts and emotions no matter what. They already exist, so just let them be and say, okay, come in, it's fine. It's kind of like, I don't know, if you have a relative that you don't really like, but you're kind of like, you're a relative, so I have to let you in. It's kind of that idea. You don't necessarily have to like all of them, but just let them in, because they're standing in front of your door anyway. They're already inside even, so just say, okay, fine, I'll give you a drink. You can stay for as long as you like, and then please leave. And they will leave, all of them, right? Now, if you've done those two, which is already quite a lot, right? You've already catched your thoughts, then you've recognized them, you've acknowledged them, you're like, okay, sure, come in. And what if that's a little bit difficult, right? Well, luckily, there is a powerful tool that all of us can use, all of us have it, and it helps us with grounding, it helps us with becoming more calm, and it helps us in this whole game of allowing your thoughts and recognizing them and all that. What you can use is your body, right? So what if I ask you, how do you know that you still have your right foot? Without looking at it. Because you can be, okay, yeah. For example, or the same thing with, what if I ask you, do you still have your right hand? I can be like, oh yeah, I still have my right hand. Fine, that works. But what if I ask you to know that you have it without looking at it? What do you do? That's right, you're going to feel it. And you feel the contact with the floor, you feel the contact with the socks or the shoes, and you feel the energy inside, but you also feel the contact with the outside. So you feel it. And so all of us have that power in us. All of us have that ability of going into the body, focusing on the breath, focusing on parts of the body, and just try practicing that. Try practicing like, okay, now I feel it in my toes, now I feel it in my knees, now I feel it in my chest. What do you feel? Some sort of tingling feeling, some sort of energy. Well, that's fine. Did you notice that you maybe weren't thinking too much in the past few seconds, right? Or you were like, okay, what the hell is Thomas saying? But that's fine. The thing is, use your body. Your body is a powerful anchor, okay? And so whenever you're kind of overwhelmed by feelings, go into the body. I would even say try to always put 10 to 20% of your attention on your body. Right? I'm practicing it right now. I'm practicing talking to you, but I'm also practicing feeling the energy in my feet, because I feel more grounded when I do so. I feel more calm and rooted. And so the power of this third item is that if you manage to always spend some energy on your body, it's energy that you're not going to be spending on thoughts and emotions, right? So if you're able to catch your thoughts, recognize them, allow them, and then choose to put some attention on your body, then you'll notice that there's less thoughts flowing around. And if there's less thoughts flowing around, they're still there, but you're not actually saying, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's not a good one. Yeah, no, keep that. So you're spending less energy on the thoughts. They're still there. They'll still come and they'll go. But you're not spending as much time with them. You're not becoming them. And weirdly enough, energy that is not spent on this can be used for a lot of other things, right? I've always liked this law of physics. I'm not that good at physics, but I remember one of the laws that says energy can't be destroyed or created, it can only be converted. And sorry for all of the scientists out there, I might have said something wrong, but the essence is you can't create energy, you can't delete or destroy it, you can only convert it. And if you're not spending energy on your thoughts, it's energy that is freed up to do other stuff. It's energy to free up on what do I really want. It's energy to feel, okay, how can I be grounded? Or how can I talk to this person in a more personal way? How can I make this more meaningful? And so that's the power of allowing your emotions to be. Because controlling your emotions is similar to fighting them. It's similar to resisting them, to trying to pursue them, to label them. And all of that is a waste of energy. That's simply what it is. It's a waste of energy. And what I'm sharing here with you, catching your thoughts, playing around with them, acknowledging them, allowing them to be, and just being in your body, that's a way of creating energy for yourself. You feel calmer, you feel more focused, less distracted by all of these thoughts. They're still there, they'll still come and go. There will still be days where really don't feel like it, that's fine. You're like, that's fine. That happens, that's just life, right? And that's the power. So these 3 items really, really, really made a difference in my life, and I'm pretty sure they can too in yours. So I'm gonna end up with just one question, and I want you to really focus on this question. How do you know that you still have your right foot without looking at it? Exactly. That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Thomas from Thomas Dealer Coaching, and we will be talking soon. Bye.